Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me for my Try It Out Tuesday series. Today I get to try out this new stamp set. Well, new to me. It's from Pretty Pink Posh. It's called Be Friends. And then also this is a scallop frame die. And so I'm going to be using this to create a card. This card is so fun and I can't wait to get started. Okay, first off we need a background for my card here. So I'm taking a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock and then 3 of my Distress Oxide inks. I'm using these 3 because if you blend 2 of the colors together, they create another color, which is nice. So I basically will get 5 colors out of these 3 inks. And I'm kind of going for like a rainbow effect on the background. So I'm going in with Broken China, and then on top of that I'm going in with Fossilized Amber and just kind of shading them all together. And so those 2 together make the green, of course. And then I'm going to go in with the Worn Lipstick right on top of that Fossilized Amber, and then that will create like an orange color. And I think the colors just are soft and pretty, and I love the way it looks. I'm just going to take this is actually a frame die with the scallop on the inside, which is really pretty. I just use that to measure and make sure I have the whole background. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more Worn Lipstick, and then that will be my background, and I think it's a fun background. I'm just going to add some water and activate it, create little water droplets just for a little bit of added interest, and then I'm going in with a paper towel and just wiping that off. I'm going to cut out my frame using some white cardstock, and I'm also going to be cutting out my background. I want my background to fit that frame, and so I did use the die kind of as a guide and marked it off with my pencil. So now we have the background along with our frame, and I did already pop it up with some foam tape. So, and the foam tape I used is not that wide, but it's going to pop it up enough to give it a little bit of interest. Now on this panel I'm going to stamp the sentiment, and the sentiment says "Thinking of You," which is so sweet. It is the only sentiment in the stamp set, but I think it's the font on it's just gorgeous. I really like it. I'm using VersaFine ink, and I'm just doubling up, making sure it's a nice crisp impression there. And then we're going to set that aside, and we're going to stamp the bumblebees, our scene here. There's 2 larger bumblebees and there's 2 smaller ones in the stamp set. The stamp set's actually not that big. I think it's like a 3x4, but there's a lot packed in this little stamp set. I'm going to use the 2 larger bumblebees. Just going to stamp that with Memento Tuxedo black ink. I'm going to be coloring them in with my alcohol markers, and so this ink won't smudge or smear, which is nice. And then I'm going in with the little flower stems. There's 2 different types. One has 2 leaves and one has 1 leaf, so I stamped 2 of each. And then there's 2 different types of flowers, and I'm just using one of them for that, almost like a little tulip. So I sped my coloring up really fast, but these images were really easy to color in. Basically the bumblebees, of course, were yellow and black. I just used darker shades of gray just so I have a little bit of shading in there. And then I wanted the rainbows to be, or the flowers to be rainbow colors, so I'm going in with pinks and blues and purples and an orange. And you'll see later on that I only ended up using 3 of the flowers. These images were just so sweet, and I fell in love with those little bumblebees. I think they're just the cutest. Okay, we have those colored in and cut out, and now what I'm going to do is take the Memento ink, and then I'm going to stamp both of those bumblebees again on white cardstock. I'm not going to color them in. I'm just going to use the coordinating dies and cut those out. And then also I have a piece of vellum, and since inks do smudge easily on vellum, I decided to use my VersaFine ink, and I want to stamp the same bumblebees on this piece of vellum. My idea is to make like a 3D, my own little 3D bumblebees here. I added some crystal clear embossing powder by Nuvo, and then I'm just going to go ahead and heat set those. This way it ensures that there's no smudging or smearing. And then I'm going to take the coordinating dies and cut those out as well. Okay, now we have all of our elements for our little card scene here. But first we're gonna make our 3D bumblebees. So the bumblebee that I had colored in earlier, I'm just gonna cut the wings off of those. So I have the base of the bumblebees, and then using some glue dots. Well, here I forgot the tails of the bumblebees, so I went in with my alcohol marker. But I'm using my glue dots, and I'm going to secure the vellum bumblebees to the white cardstock bumblebees. And the neat thing about this is vellum has a tendency to naturally curl, so the wings actually kind of curled up a little bit, which is fun. I love that. So cute. So now I'm going to take some dimensional adhesive. Well, let's stick this vellum piece on here real fast. Lovely. Okay. Now, just dimensional adhesive, I'm going to pop up the middle parts of those bumblebees and stick it right on top of the vellum. And voila, we have some beautiful, cute little 3D bumblebees. So there's 3 layers on there, and I think it just adds so much to them. And they look so cute. They're going to be my little star of the card, so we got to make those extra pretty. Now I'm taking a standard size A2 card base, and I'm going to adhere my panel right in the center of it. We're going to do a side folding card today. Just going to place that right in the center, and I did get a little pencil mark, so I'm just going to take my eraser and erase a little bit of that. And then I'm going to remove the backing off of my foam tape, and then I'm going to just place that right on top of my panel there. I think this frame is I just love it. It's the cutest, and it's thin, and it comes. Pretty Pink Posh has a larger one and a smaller one, and I think they're perfect for cards. I'm just kind of arranging my little bumblebees where I think they look the cutest. And then in the stamp set are some little polka dotted trails. So I want the bumblebees to have trails that lead to the thinking of you. And I actually should have did this before I put the frame down, but it worked out good. Except for I did get a little ink on the very top part of the frame, so I used my sand eraser and tried to get that off. And there's 2 different trails in the stamp set, so I used one of each. Just using VersaFine. I think this was such a fun card, and I love the bright, vivid colors. It screams happy. So when it was finished, I was like, oh, I like this. And I get to share it with you, so that's a nice part too. I'm just going to pop up again my bumblebee with some dimensional adhesive, almost like he's floating in the air, and then I did go ahead and add my little flowers. I went and here's where I'm taking that eraser and getting rid of my ink marks. Now I'm going to go in with some, my white gel pen. Actually, I really like the flowers, but I wanted to soften them just a little bit. So if you use the white gel pen, and I added little dots to each of those flowers, since there was a lot of white in the background, it just tied everything together. Plus added a little bit of interest, which was nice. And then I wanted to add some Wink of Stella to the bumblebee's wings. And that's it, guys. That's my card for Try It Out Tuesday. The stamp set, I'll leave links below to where you can find it. It's so cute, and I'm glad I get to share this with you. If you're new and like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate every single one of you, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye-bye.